Get any meaning. So
it means
yes,
that
yes.
things are standing inside.
Yeah. It means things are standing. It has no meaning at all.
I have no clue what you're talking about. I mean, you know me. I like to ask questions, and this is a good one. What's the question?
So, question is coming on. So, I have already made it clear. So, we normally stretch. One word is understanding, and then we normally, out of the joke, we say stand under. So, basically, fundamentally, it has no meaning at all. But still, if we want to stretch and we want to find meaning, oh, you are standing under. Okay, what is that under?
Only under wood.
So Anne did not understand the question. So now the question is coming from the Charlie. And exactly it conveys the same meaning. So she asked that I have a small question regarding small question. Yes. So small question, understanding and stand under. So what is that? You were describing it to us as a way from selfish to unselfish. Pay attention what she has written. And I was wondering if unselfishness is just another kind of self. This is what I mean by standing under. But anyhow, I will explain it. Connected, aware, and conscious about its interconnection with everything around, or unselfish is when there is no self at all. So, what I translated unselfishness as if there is no self at all. But so it does not correspond to the meaning of selfishness. So selfishness is an attribute, is a character, is a specific symptoms. So we are not talking here of self and not self. We are talking of selfishness. I'm crazy. I get obsessed with some idea, something. That is what the selfishness. So unselfishness, the way the way that Charlie has explained does not fit here. So let us understand. Does it make any sense when I say, did you understand or stand under? That is what I said. First thing we have to be very clear that because we are talking of we are real self, and the real self is the pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is all pervading, infinite. Mind is limited. Mind cannot explain. It can hint, it can point out what exactly is all pervading absolute truth. So, what our masters have done, they have created certain metaphors and they have given a specific meaning to these words. Having said that, many a times we translate the words and try to understand the meaning and extract the knowledge. So when I extract the knowledge, unselfishness as if it is there is no self at all. No, it has no meaning at all. Now what is selfishness? Selfishness in Eastern wisdom means ego wants to consume the entire world for its benefit. Selfishness means the ego thinks the entire world is for my consumption. And when it is for my consumption, I am the center of the world. Honey, why didn't you do that? But honey says, why should I do that? Because you are my honey. So I'm consuming the honey. Are you getting it? Understand, be very clear about it. Let me make it very simple. Selfishness means my mind is always working with the strong likes and dislikes. It works with a stressed mind. It works with an agitation mind. It works with a grabbing mind. It works with a money mind. it works with a biased mind. It means I am a consumer of the world outside and it must be consumed. That is the meaning of selfishness here. It has nothing to do with the self or not self. Be very clear. Hey honey, why don't you love me? Really? Really? Honey says, I hate you. Oh, then why you are my honey? I'm consuming. My focus is on consumption. It's a very subtle meaning. Very subtle meaning. Understand? I simplify it again. Selfishness means I am working, thinking, speaking, acting out of selfishness, means out of strong likes and dislikes, out of craziness, out of obsession, out of consuming a person, an event, a situation, or an oh, look at this guy, he never treated me this way. I want to consume everyone. Are you getting it, my friends, or not?
Yes.
Yes? Very good. So we need not to translate like understanding and stand under. We have to give it a clarity. Unselfish is the absence of impurities in the mind. Now I'm going again. So selfishness means I am a great consumer of the entire world, relationship, situation, condition, everything. And if my idea of consuming the world does not work, I get angry, I have hesitation, I have duality, I have conflict, I have hatred, I have anxiety, and a long list. So they add up to the impurities of the world. Did you understand it? Why I'm upset with you? Tell me. Because you don't like what I said, or I don't follow what is your idea about me. So I'm a consumer. I'm selfish. That the entire world should be like me, based on my preferences, prejudices, ideas, thoughts, likes, dislikes, etc., 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 along this. Are you getting it? Did you understand? Say yes.
It doesn't mean that if you aren't what I want you to be.
Yes.
For me.
I'm a consumer.
That I don't like you.
Yes, I'm selfish. I'm consumer. I'm a consumer.
And I need you to be
like
to make me feel good about myself.
Yeah. So you should always make me feel good about myself. So I have some certain expectations. I have certain likes and dislikes, which is working in my mind. That is selfishness. Am I clear? Then I can move ahead. So what happens? You are now just opposite. Unselfishness means the absence of these impurities in the mind. Then I'm not crazy at all. I come and meet you, I respect you, I adore you, but inside my head there is no expectation, there is no impurities. That is the meaning of unselfishness. It has nothing to do with no self at all. So unselfishness is the absence of impurities in the mind. I am then, if there is absence of impurities, then I'm not crazy, I'm not lazy, I'm not obsessed, I'm not craving. How it happens if I'm not a consumer? then what I am? I'm a contributor. I connect to you with clarity, with calmness and peace of the mind, without any expectation. So if I don't have any expectation, you are not going to hurt me. Can you hurt me if I have no expectations? That is the purity. You are a contributor. In that sense, we have to understand that. In that sense, I have to understand yajna or yajna, the word that I have used. Yajna means I drop my selfishness. Yajna means I sacrifice the ideas, the wrong notions that is growing in my mind. I sacrifice selfishness. So when I sacrifice my expectations, my mind is pure. I rise in awareness. I do not fall in awareness. Now, normally we say, I fall in love with that guy or that girl. Or there are more girls, so I should say we should fall in love with that girl. So it is fall in consciousness, it is fall in awareness. When I rise in awareness, when I rise in love, I respect you. I am ready in the mode of a self-giving. I am not in the mode of expectations. I am not in the mode of consuming you. Why don't you praise me? You see that I'm a beard guy, now a senior citizen. The minimum respect is required, so I have an expectation. Then I am a consumer. Then I have an impurity in the mind. So what our masters are saying, do you have those ideas in the thoughts and the feeling? You sacrifice it. That is yajna. Now tell me, is it suppression? Is it suppression? Is it reaction? It is not. This idea is so rich in understanding. Let me give an example. You are sitting and having a cup of tea and coffee with your honey, and honey means anyone, whom you have some expectations. Don't think it is only husband and wife, it may be anyone. And honey says, I don't agree with you, and you flare up. So mind is already in the mode of consumer. So what yajna does, yajna says that you sacrifice that flaring up first. First you sacrifice it. Now this is not me. And then you look at the honey. Honey, you may not agree, but let me know. This is my perception. So I move into the state of the calmness. Instantly, I rise in awareness. I live in the field of heightened awareness. It is very subtle and it's not difficult to understand. The next statement comes, I have few questions for you based on the last week teaching. You have always told us to see ourselves as a separate from our thought, standing on the side on the road, yes, just watching them pass. We do not engage with them, for if we do, we get into the trouble. So here I am preparing for yajna. I am preparing for sacrifice. First I have to see that this is separate, then only I can sacrifice. So I see all the thoughts, feeling, emotions, negativity, reactions. First I sacrifice. I don't even think that this reaction is against you. I'm not going outside. I'm in my mind. Are you getting it? I am still in my mind. I am not blaming you. I'm not saying you that, look at this crazy, he or she doesn't have even a courtesy to say hello. I sacrifice this idea. This is yajna. And when you sacrifice, you are lighthearted, you're free. And you are free from that duality. And now you approach that person. You will definitely approach with a rise in awareness. You will never approach that person with a blame, complaint, and reaction. That is yajna. Did you get it? That is yajna. Yajna is such a powerful. So because you asked me the question, so I need to continue and explain to you the higher and deeper level of the yajna. There is one private lesson, and I have taken almost 50 lessons on this yajna. This guy who was getting $5 million as a profit every year, he recently filed bankruptcy. And if you meet this guy, he is full of peace and happiness. He has taken as if nothing has happened. He doesn't want to leave the session. 50 lessons on yajna. So his wife is also doing a session with me, and wife says, I cannot understand. He used to get flare up and he used to get agitated, but in this situation, he's able to maintain the calmness. He's working as if, he has become totally a new person. That is the power of yajna. So every time he brings the challenges and then he finds the solution and he wants an affirmation. Is it right? I said, yes, it is right. He is doing so good. Can you imagine? $5 million on one hand, bankruptcy. So yes, just watching them pass. I have found this helpful, as you are not saying repress your thoughts and push them down, obviously. Just observe them. But when you talked about yajna, you speak of crushing the thoughts. No. I am saying sacrifice. Can I say sacrifice your fecal matters in the restroom? You see what a crazy guy you are. We always do it. So those fecal matters are our impurities of the mind, our expectations. Now I'm comparing it. Now see. You don't care. You don't give any importance. Your mind does not give any importance to your expectations, your reactions, your anger, your hesitation. You sacrifice them all. Like a fecal matters when you clear your stuff sitting in the restroom. Did you understand? He insulted me. I don't sleep for a couple of days. It is not a fecal matter for me. Understand? Now you have understood. Mind, how dare you are anxious. I sacrifice my anxiousness. How dare you, sad, this guy is insulting me. Let me sacrifice this insulting idea and the wrong notion. Are you getting it? Do you have that level of awareness? I can bet you in 1 week the life is going to transform. That is the power of yajna. There are many definitions of yajna, but so this is not opposite yajna, and this is watching the thought, they are separate, is the very primary step. But yajna takes you to the high, and you say, oh my goodness, my honey doesn't understand. Let me sacrifice this. Does not understand. So what happens to your mind? You're free. Your honey does not understand. Then why you are worried? Why you are worried? Biden does not understand. Then why you are worried? I will not use the word Trump. John will be angry. You see that? You just drop that burden of the impurities from your mind by understanding, by thinking. I'm dropping it. And then see the state of the mind. That is what is the meaning of yajna, is to recognize the false notions that is causing so much of harm to me in my life. I'm dropping that. So you see, one way is to argue over reaction, anger, anxiety. And the yajna means you are simply first dropping it. So that your mind is clear. It is just a fickle matter. Finished. Now let me think. And that is why in that context I said, give me 3 benefits of sadness. Give me 3 benefits of reaction. Give me 1 benefit of sadness. No, we normally say, honey, don't disturb me. I want some space. To be sad? To be frustrated? To be angry? To be agitated? To react? What a great guy you are. You want a space to be sad. That is the beauty of understanding the Eastern wisdom. Think. I am not saying agree with me. Don't agree. Argue again. Ask next question. Why? Because your mind needs a conviction on the knowledge, on the understanding. If your mind has a conviction, finished. You will see there is a rise in awareness and you are free from it. And then simple practice will help you to move ahead. So, yajna is just opposite of, you sacrifice your selfishness. Simple. If I'm reacting, I'm angry, I'm agitated, so I have become selfish. Selfish makes me consumer, not a contributor. When we connect, contribute, and grateful to what comes from the world, we change from selfishness to unselfishness. My master used to say, your honey becomes angry, yes. He or she is always agitated, yes. Internally, you drop that idea and endure it. So you are replacing the selfishness with an endurance. So now what is going to happen after a few times, few repetitions? You are not at all affected. I'm not, but my master meant it, so I must say it. You should have your mind like an elephant who walks on the street unconcerned about 100 dogs who are barking to him them. Did you understand? Can I have that state of the mind? Barking means abusing, insulting, reacting, etc., etc. World are going to do it. I cannot change the world. I have to change myself. That is what the yajna is. That is the yajna. It demands a courage, sincerity, awareness. I have an urge to go to the restroom, so I just drop it. I go it. I don't want to control it. I've been controlling my anger for the last 1 year and you did not understand. Oh, because you did not understand. That's why I'm controlling my anger. Am I crazy or the guy? This is yajna. Did you get it? Say yes. This is yajna. No, but this guy did not understand. I have told him 1 million times. So why you are obstinate to force him to understand? Why don't you understand? Are you getting it? I should understand that I have repeated many a times, and if I go on repeating, I will be upset. So better to sacrifice this upset. Do whatever you want to do. Fall into a ditch, what should I do? No, you are my honey, so I have an expectation. That is the power of yajna, my friends. I think you got an answer. The last statements I'm not going to use now. I believe Charlie must have understood it, so there's no use of using those, the last words. Yes, you can ask.
I guess my question, without you reading them out, was I understand now more about yasna and I have to just practice it.
Yeah.
But if I'm in a physically threatening situation, my question was dropping my consumer reaction to somebody. If you're in a situation where
imagine threatening situation.
How's it best? You can't just love someone who's just about to smack you or something.
Oh my goodness. Are you doing a favor if you love me? What you're talking about? Are you doing favor if you love the honey? What do you mean by it? Is anyone craving for my love and care? This is very subtle selfishness. That I want to love, I am caring you. Hence, I have some expectation. Do you think that the love, the air says when you are sleeping, I love you, I put the air into your nose? So that next day you are alive? So I have an imagined threatening situation. I don't have a state of complete unselfishness in the mode of yajna. In the mode of yajna, nobody is going to threaten you. You live into that state, nobody is going to threaten you. Even if the guy comes with a threat, he has to change. Or she has to change. That is the height of the yajna. So we can imagine many threatening situations in our life. But I don't see I am threatening myself by being selfish. Now I'm coming to the main point. Oh, look at this guy, so crazy. So I am already crazy in my head. I have to sacrifice this. Instead of imagining those situations in my head. Yesterday, this guy who attends my session, he said, I'm scared. Why you're scared? Lot of gang members are crossing our border, and they are reaching to Phoenix. You are too far in New Jersey. You see, imagine the situation. Imagine situation. He is very well built. He is 6 feet 5 inches. He builds a mansion that costs $10 million and he sells it to the people. Very strong, and says that, I'm very scared. I have a perception. Selfishness colors my perception. It becomes a projection. And that projection creates a havoc in our life. And if it is not true, tell me, every one of us, I'm also including myself, every one of us, after living with a person, we have created a self-image about that person. We don't live our life, we live with that projection. Say yes or no. It is true. So I need to shed this projection completely. Then there is no fear. Then there is no imagined fear. If I have an imagined fear every time I come and attend the session, and I'm scared John is going to push me, now one day what will happen? I will react against him. And John says, I did nothing to you. I simply asked you a question, why you are reacting. No, I know why you are saying, oh, you're keeping this mouth like this, it means it is insulting to me. Imagined. Remember, this is very deep. Imagined fear. Imagine. So I told him, what the guy you are. You can control 5 guys like me. You're so strongly built. Physically. You have all the resources. The law enforcement agencies are there. And I have a fear. My mind cooks a story out of the selfishness. It may be fear, it may be expectation, it may be duality, it may be conflict, it may be bragging, it may be craving, it may be an obsession. And that pollutes my life, destroys my life. I cannot live in that sense of freedom. Again, I'm saying, don't agree with me. Raise doubt, apply it, and see what happens. 10,000 masters, 10,000 years, they have applied it. They lived with it. They worked, they have sacrificed their family, their wealth, their prestige, their recognition. They were contemplating and reflecting for years in the woods, in the forest, in the Himalayas. So not only one master, but hundreds of masters came to the same conclusion. And then we have to see if we can apply it in our life and see what happens. Don't be serious. I'm open to. So Understand this. From Australia, a guy came. He just today he's left. He spent 2 weeks with me. He said, "No, I have to learn with you in person." So 2 weeks, you can think of it. I spent about 60 hours with him. Still, Eastern wisdom is totally open to anything and everything that our mind thinks, but it demands that I should contemplate, reflect in such a way so that check that you do you rise in awareness after clearing your bowels, you feel, oh, what a freshness, what a peace that I have. So when you perform the yajna in a right manner, if you feel, oh, what a calmness I have, you have done it. But still you have a doubt, raise the doubt, ask the question, contemplate and reflect until you have that feeling, oh, I got it. I'm giving such a, I know, wrong example, but it gives you the sense, it gives you the essence. When I was 5 years old, spontaneous. We all were. Dad said, Charlie, stop this. I became a little bit upset, and just the next moment I said, Dad, can you come with me? Yajna. I did yajna in that time. I forgot it now. Do you see that? I did it. We all did it in our life. My friends, we all did it. We were so spontaneous. I remember that I was playing cricket and I hurt my big toes. I fell down on the ground, and well, it was hardly 10 or 11 years old. Cricket in England and India. It's a craze. So, and my big toe was hurt by a stone, and I had blood was coming out, but I was playing. Until someone said, "Oh, so much of blood is coming," and then I started crying. It might have happened to all of us in a different situation. I'm talking of that yajna. Yajna is that powerful. How they discovered, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine how they discovered it, how they understood it. Yajna is sacrificing your selfishness. One simple way. Yajna is sacrificing all your strong likes and dislikes, your expectations. Yajna is sacrificing you are not a consumer. Your consumership is sacrificed. And when my consumership is sacrificed, all my expectations drops. When all my expectations have dropped, I go back and become like a child. A spontaneous awareness is there. Think. Spontaneous awareness is there. Spontaneity is there. A childlike simplicity is there. At the age of the 5 year, your mom became angry over you. You don't say, Mom, you insulted me. Do you say that? Have you said that? Mom, you insulted me. It is unbecoming of you as a mother. Come on. You are crazy. No, I just became very, I just withdraw myself. And the next moment, Mom, I love you. That is yes now. Why? In that spontaneity, the child has dropped. Child never thought you insulted me. Never thought. Never came to my to the child's mind. Why? Because there is no coloring. There is no projection. There is no selfishness. We are talking of that selfishness. So as the child grows, we build our I thought, that is ego. With that, ego thrives on likes and dislikes. Just remember, ego thrives on expectations. I thought means what I am thrives. Can ego thrive on kindness? Ask yourself. How are you? I'm in peace. Tomorrow, today, yesterday, day after, I always say that I'm in peace. Then, can the ego thrive on it? Ask yourself. Ego cannot thrive. I thought always thrives on selfishness, and that I thoughts, that selfishness, I have already underlined. You have stressed mind, you have strong likes and dislikes mind. I just categorize them. Huh? Agitated mind and dual mind, etc., 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 long biased mind. I just gave you a hint, so you have to create another 15, 20 different selfish mind, and then you see, oh my goodness, I have been thinking negatively against Sophie for last 1 hour. My face has become so sad, and I'm angry and upset. And Sophie is thriving, smiling. For example, I must dare to sacrifice this. And I can bet you, even if you do it for a week, your energy level, you will never imagine it is going to jump. Freshness will remain all the time. You will never feel that you have a low energy, whether you have taken a cup of tea or not. That power is there. And that power comes from the consciousness. Why? Because you drop the selfishness, the mind is a sense of impurity. And in that purity of the mind, the consciousness enters, flows out of. Think, think. Again, I'm comparing. The child gets upset just for a few seconds, but it does not create a projection. But now I'm adult, mature, very intelligent. You say me something, I can color every word of yours. And then I start thinking how bad you are. Are you getting it? I am saying I have to sacrifice these ideas, these thoughts. These thoughts are going to make me crazy. Whether you are good or bad, I don't care. Let me sacrifice first. Are you getting it? So I'm free. I have that sense of freedom, like a child. That changes the entire perception of the world around me. And then I recognize Another part of the yajna you should understand. In yajna, we say that the entire world is a great contributor to me, and still I claim that I am a self-made man. Parents contributed to my physical birth. Why you have given birth to me? Your parents should have squeezed your neck at the time of the birth. Do you dare to ask this question? You should not exist, to ask this such a stupid question. You are asking this question because your parents sustained your life until today. Can you deny this? No, my dad is. One guy from the New York said, and I said, hold your tongue. I should have squeezed your neck. How dare you say? They have contributed to my physical birth. I should be grateful. This is the meaning that I connect myself to the people. This is what the conscious connect. Take another example. Air do not send the bill to us. Even when we are totally unconscious, the breath says, air says, I'm contributing to your life. Am I grateful? No. No. So what we are doing, what I'm saying, from the consumership, you are switching your mind to a contributorship. Connecting. I'm consciously connecting. I connect with a consumer mind. Now I am connecting with a contributor. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you. Every day you say I'm grateful and thankful. I'm simply saying to the space, to the air, to the water. We talk about 70% of my body is water. Really? Really? Yes. When one drop of the water goes into the lungs, then I will tell you. And that water takes care of me. It never goes into my lungs. Such a great contribution, connection. I'm receiving that connected. I'm connecting all the time. How can I say I'm a self-made man? So what I'm doing, I'm dropping my selfishness. I'm dropping that I-ness. I'm dropping that strong like and dislike mind. I'm dropping that agitated mind by doing the yasna. And when you do this yasna, there is a contribution, I can bet you, if you go on expanding and think of it, food has a great contribution. Leave all the food from the earth. Tell me you are a self-made man. How dare you say that you are a self-made man? We are connected. Can you see the contribution of a vulture in my life? Can you imagine? The masters have thought in that way. I'm just giving you some ideas. Vulture. They are known as scavenger. Do you know why they are known as scavenger? They eat the rotten flesh. Right? Now think they do not exist. What will happen to that rotten flesh? We will have 10,000 viruses deadly than the COVID virus. They are contributing to our life. Do you agree? Vulture. Such a, what we say? Oh, such a animal. I don't want to see it. Now I have to recognize their contribution. I have to recognize the contribution of my cauliflower and says, I eat organic. Come on, if there is no organic food, then what is going to happen? They are contributing to my existence. This is what I mean by connection, contributing. At least I should be thankful internally, mentally, emotionally. My master passed on this tradition to me. His masters passed on this tradition to me. Just think, 5,000 years ago, there was no printing press. And they thought that this tradition should continue to be transmitted to the next generation. So they thought, they discovered a ways to write these knowledge in a verse form, and then they created a pattern how to remember this, and they passed on the entire tradition by memorizing. Should I not be thankful what I'm learning today? How can I be so selfish? Are you getting it? How can I be so selfish in myself? So that is why we say we respect the teacher, we adore the teacher. Why? Because you carried forward that tradition. When the means were not there, Google was not there, computer was not there, printing press was not there. And still we are able to read, what the verse that I recite 3,000 years ago. We have lost that idea and that understanding of being grateful, being connecting, being a contributor. It's a consumer society, it's a consumer world. Vulture, kill it. No, don't kill it. He has contributed in my life. Think. I'm not saying that you go blindly what I'm saying. This is the idea spread over. So that is why we respected the plants, we respected all the animals. That is the reason we respect. Because you are contributing to my life. Think, the earthworm is not there. You cannot produce the good food. The food that we are eating. Have you seen on the Discovery Channel? They say it's a filthy job. By filthy job, you can earn millions. So they go to Virginia Beach, the mud, and these guys dig inside the mud and they extract the earthworm. And it is supplied to the ranchers and the farmers. In US. No, I will become the earthworm and produce the food. Think. I'm saying just think that I am connected to the entire universe. I have to live into that awareness. The moment you are connected to this entire universe, by understanding, your ego drops. Your selfishness drops. That opens the way to awakening and realization of the life. Think. I'm not saying believe, have a blind faith. I just gave you an example of these. When I was watching and I instantly, my mind intuitively felt, you see the contribution of this earthworm, contribution of the vulture. Just gave two examples. You may say, my digestive system is so good. hundreds of bacteria are making it responsible. Science has proved it. Now, I have a very good digestion. I eat organic or inorganic or whatever you say. Minus bacterias. Let me know whether your digestive system is good or not. You eat the most costly organic food minus bacteria in your stomach. Let me see whether you can really digest the food or not. Yogurt is so tasty. Come on. Yogurt is so tasty. Bacteria is there. Can you recognize their contribution? So this basically, Yasna, is to expand my mind, horizon. My mind is very selfish and limited. I have to sacrifice and to expand it. So every time, everywhere you think, speak, and act, you do every activity to understand how I should connect. Because the entire universe is connecting to me. I am not connecting. Why? Because I am very selfish. Being selfish, I think that I am a great person. Think. That is the role of the yasna in your life. That guy who went bankruptcy, I said, it has happened to you. You have to learn it. You have to endure it. You have to come out of it. How? I said, by yajna. That will be our next topic. How you can get out of it. We did lot of practices today. So thank you for tolerating me and listening to me. Thank you.